Now more with a congressional candidate for the 25th District of California, Cenk Uygur. Okay, so Cenk, I've read a lot of articles about this race, and coming out of it, I have learned, I wanna list all of what I've learned about your positions and Christy Smith, the most prominent other candidate. Nothing, none of the profile. I don't know, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't know what you plan to do when you get into Congress. And honestly, at this point, for Christy Smith, I don't know what she plans to do if she gets into Congress.
Yeah.
I can speculate about both of you, but why don't we talk about what you actually aim to do?
Yeah, let's talk about me and then we'll talk about Christy. So number one, for me, the issue of corruption is everything because it affects every other issue. So for example, school shooting in our district, Saugus High School. Well, why do 97% of Americans want federal background checks? Why don't we have it? Because the NRA bribes the entire Republican Party. That's the only reason, period, full stop. If you're not talking about that, then you don't care about school shootings and you don't care to fix them. If you're talking about something else, no, if we just convince 98% of the country to be for federal background checks, no, that's not a logical argument and you know it. So I'm gonna go and attack them full force. McConnell, Trump, the NRA, all the donors. But on every issue, so Aliso Canyon, there's the biggest gas leak in American history. That's the 25th district. And at the time, Steve Knight, the Republican, is the congressman in that district. He doesn't defend the people in the district, he defends the company. You're gonna be shocked to find out why, John.
Well, are you implying that they supported him?
Yes, it turns out he took donations from Sempra, the parent company, and so defended the parent company.
Yeah.
What a wonderful coincidence again. Okay, so Medicare for all. So none of the major candidates in the race are for Medicare for all except me. So if you want somebody to fight for Medicare for all, it is a no-brainer. It's me. The Christy Smith is against it. She's against it. Green New Deal, it's me. They're not for it.
Okay. Has she been explicitly, I do not support
She
Medicare
sent
for
out,
all?
she said, yes. So she said she's thinking about the public option. Okay, all right. At this rate, we'll get Medicare for all and single parent in about 280 years. Okay, so on Green New Deal, she sent out an email saying, I think we should get back in the Paris Climate Accords. How very, very bold.
Well, I do agree we should.
Yes, agreed. I'm pretty sure that's the bare minimum, and that is exactly what her and all of her corporate Democrat friends are in favor of. The bare minimum. And that's why she's hiding all of her issues. She's not doing any press. All she's doing is fundraisers outside of the district in Beverly Hills and Hollywood. They're all private. They're all like thousands. You got to pay thousands of dollars to get in. I think one of them, minimum is $100, but really, I mean, that's the riffraff, right? But they were trying to get you to pay in $2,000, $5,000, et cetera. So average donation so far for her is $2,700. I mean, it's preposterous. It's absolutely preposterous.
Do you know your average?
Yeah, my average is, last I checked this morning, was $28.21.
And just to be clear, because we asked this to basically all the candidates, what is your fundraising strategy? Where do you want to get money from? Where will you not take money from?
My fundraising strategy is you, Cenk2020.com. And I mean that in terms of all of the voters, all of the progressive base. That's why I'm not just coming on here, I'm going up to every media outlet that'll have me, hostile or not, and I'm making my case. Because I'm taking my case to the voters. I'm not gonna take any corporate PAC money. I'm not gonna take any lobbyist money. So if I'm gonna win, the people are gonna put me in. And it's gonna be the people's seat. And that'll drive them nuts. If you say, hey, you have no power over me. I don't know a single politician a favor. I don't know a single corporation a favor. I don't know a single lobbyist a favor. The only people I owe a favor to is the voters, okay? Isn't it so sad and sick of our system that that's a revolutionary idea? That's supposed to be the core of democracy. Look, Christy Smith has never even talked about money out of politics. Like, what does she want? What is her strategy for getting money out of politics? Well, she takes direct corporate contributions. So it appears that her strategy is, no, I want to keep taking the money, the corporate money, and serve them.
Let me ask you a question about strategy, actually, because there is a possibility that hypothetically you could win this race and be in the House, maybe even a Democrat-dominated House with a second-term Trump presidency. Or maybe Biden or Sanders, someone wins, Democrats control the House, Republicans still control the Senate. What is your strategy to pursue your agenda if there's not unified Democratic control, as it seems like there's not a gigantic chance there will be?
So my strategy is far more pragmatic than any other, okay, and I'll tell you why. So if the current strategy for most folks, ranging from this completely to this a little bit, depending on where they are in the spectrum, is beseech leadership. pretty please Democratic leadership, will you be for Medicare for all at a later date to be never named, okay? And how's that working for us? No chance. Nancy Pelosi says, I don't care for Medicare for all. She says Green New Deal's Green Dream or whatever, it's only supported by 4 people. So if you're pursuing the path of pleasing and trying to get the Democratic leadership to be on your side, that is an impossible path. It is not practical. It will not work. It has no chance of working, okay? The only practical path is to put political public pressure. And that's the only thing that's ever led to change. So when Martin Luther King put pressure on Lyndon Johnson, he passed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. If Martin Luther King had not put that public pressure on by naming the problem and calling it racism and marching against it and willing to sacrifice for it, there's no way Lyndon Johnson would have passed the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. We must put that political pressure. You know what I'm gonna do? If I'm on the floor of the House, I'm gonna invite the people into the House. It's your House. It's the House of Representatives. As much as they will allow the public, I will invite the public. I want them to hear our speeches. I want them to hear me fighting for Medicare for all and Green New Deal and getting money out of politics and ending the school shootings and all of these things. And I want them to hear the Republicans and the corporate Democrats say, no, we shouldn't do any of that. No, ExxonMobil disagrees. We shouldn't do it. Great, let's have that debate and let's have it with everyone watching, because they have no chance of winning that debate. So you do carrots and sticks. So far, unfortunately, even progressives haven't brought out enough sticks. And
there's been a few public protests and things like that against Nancy Pelosi early on. Yeah. So you're talking about if you get elected and people can expect that you'll be doing public speeches attacking Pelosi, Schumer, if they're wrong on the issue, even if it makes you the most ostracized man in the House, you don't mind. That's you're gonna do it
on the floor of the House. Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming to their house. Okay, and you're gonna send me. If you don't send me, then I'm not going. Right? If there's not enough money, there's not enough volunteers, then we didn't make it. And they're gonna say, yes, we're back in charge without any pesky progressives. We'll never do any of your priorities. That's a reality. It's almost. I don't know how anybody could argue against that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you send me in, put me in, coach. You send me in. We're not gonna let them get away with trying to cover things up. They're not gonna cover it up. Then we're gonna have a real fight and find out what is the core of the Democratic Party. Is it all the things that FDR said, JFK said on a domestic level, what LBJ said? Or is it, no, we please our corporate donors and try to appease Republicans? If you never have that fight, we never win it because they're in charge. If you have a public fight, then they're going to be embarrassed because we are 100% right and they are 100% wrong.
Well, it's a strategy that the Republicans views against the Democrats quite a bit.
And they won 1,000 seats with that strategy, by the way.
Okay, unfortunately we're out of time. Where can people go to see more about your
Thank
campaign?
you, John. First of all, obviously, as you know, cenk2020.com/go to donate. Go as in put me in there. cenk2020.com/team to volunteer. That would be amazing. This Sunday, we're doing a people's fundraiser. You don't have to give, it's optional. We're encouraging $27 donation to come. So that's cenk2020.com/meet, as in meet up with us. Okay, that's in Santa Clarita, that's in the district. Okay, that's this weekend, it's on Sunday. But guys, also remember, follow me on Twitter if you, at Cenk Uygur, if you want updates on the campaign, because I cannot talk about it on the show when I'm hosting, which is 98% of what I do on air. I'm not allowed to talk about it. So if you want to follow campaign stuff as opposed to TYT stuff, not just Twitter, but really importantly, Facebook, facebook.com/Cenk Uygur official.
Where you're putting up videos.
Where I'm putting up behind the scenes videos where they say, oh my God, he's talking to the people. I wonder if we could use this against him. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna talk to you guys all throughout the campaign. I'm gonna tell you all the behind the scenes. Let's go get them together. Cenk2020.com, facebook.com/Cenk Uygur official.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.